Hello and welcome. I am currently in San Diego, California, specifically in North Park, which is where Verbatim Books is. So I have been wanting to go to this bookshop for a while, and the owner of Verbatim was kind enough to reply to my request to come film. So we're gonna go check it out together, and I'm like super excited to finally get to experience this bookshop in real life. Right away, just look at this. Look at the sci-fi and fantasy section. This is just one set of shelves. The amount of selection, astounding. And then I saw this, I was very, very tempted to pick this up just because the cover was so cool. And look at how cheap this was. And then I definitely picked this up. $2 for, look at that. Look at that cover. Oh my goodness. And then more. I've been wanting to read more Andrea Norton, and I saw more Andrea Norton in this bookstore than I have ever seen. Look at this. This was a little bit too dated for me to pick that up, but I put it away. I was very tempted about this because look at how ridiculous it was. But because there was that little notch taken out of the back, I decided to let it stay. This, however, look at how cool this is. Front and back, only $3. Oh my goodness. It's like literal kid in a candy store. What a great cover. I thought about picking this one up just because the cover was so cool. I definitely picked this up because look at that weird little child. And then we got, a little circus. There's just, look at all these fantasy and science fiction magazines. And look at the Asimovs. Oh my god. I'm geeking out. And then here's all like the fancy books. All of the super fancy, like extra pulpy classics. Look at this. Like, there have been a few times in life where I wanted to cry. This was one of them. Like, this bookstore is just absolutely amazing. Look at how beautiful it is. It's absolutely stunning. Look at that. Look at how it's made the name in books. And then of course, they had Nicolas Cage in here in the best poster ever. And y'all know how much I love Nick Cage. It's just such a vibe here. I would go here every day if I lived here. And here are a bunch of graphic novels, because I know, I gotta show my nerds. There are cool stuff here too. Like any kind of nerd, they've got you. What a cool store. And here's like in the kids section. I did not know that they had like Starfleet Academy or Deep Space and like Star Trek little YA novels. I thought that was so cute. So I wanted more books, so I found this little bookstore down the street, and this place was like just as amazing. Just wall to wall, on the floor, up where you can't see it. Just look, I found a double edition. How cool is this? And it's so tight in here. This is like what you imagine like the 80s and 90s depict what bookstores were like. I actually found one. And it's very claustrophobic, and you can't see anything on the bottom shelves because there's books on the floor, but it was so cool to be in here. So cool. Yay! Alright, so I'm going to show you all of the books I picked up at both Verbatim Books and also at the random little hole-in-the-wall bookstore I found while walking in Hillcrest. So I'm going to show you the little Hillcrest bookstore first. Let me just say, I just want to say that, the little hole-in-the-wall bookstore in Hillcrest was like exactly what childhood media depictions for me of a bookstore was. Is it Notting Hill with like Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts? Like that level of bookstore, definitely not ADA compliant, like packed from floor to ceiling with books. Like, that is what media depict all bookstores in like the 80s and 90s. So to like see that in person was so cool. As a disabled person though, I will say that I felt much more comfortable and safer in Verbatim. But let me show you the little things I picked up at the little hole-in-the-wall thrift store. So the first one I picked up is Andrea Norton, and this is an Ace paperback, Night of the Masks. This is just, I saw this and I was like, oh no, I have to pick this up. Like, look, this has not, the spine, can you focus? Anyway, the spine has not been cracked at all. So I have no idea how. And this was like $4.95, which I'm gladly pay. So this is like an original 1964 Night of Mask Ace print from the 60s that has never been like read for less than $5. Crazy. I then also picked up a double feature, which I'm excited because I haven't seen one of these in person before. So this is a Tor double novel. So this is Jack Vance's The Last Castle. Look at that cover. And then also Robert Silverberg, Nightwings. I was like, what? Oh, look at her. This is just so cool. Like, both of them are that awesome. So this is $5, and I think this is from the 80s. Yep, 1989. I thought this was so cool. So $5 for this, absolutely any day. I picked up another Andrea Norton, and that was because I'm in the middle of reading Iron Cage by her. That's what I've been reading while I've been on this trip. And as soon as, you know, spoiler alert, I'm enjoying it, which is why I'm picking up more from her. I remember when I did the Elven Bane review, I was like, I know what Mercedes Lackey writes like. I want to know what Andrea Norton writes like, and I'm kind of seeing the disconnect now between the two. But this is Yurth Burden by Andrea Norton, and this is a DAW publication, and this was $1.50. $1.50. And I think this is also from the 60s. Nope, this is 1978. So this can definitely be a book without a barcode. I thought that was awesome. And then, you know, between Moid and Bookpilled, I felt deficient by not having Moorcock in my life. Yep, I said that out loud. All right. And I picked up Count Brass because look at this cover. Oh my god, I'm probably turning red now because I can't believe I said that out loud. So this is the first volume of the Chronicles of Castle Brass, and this is from 1973. So maybe I'll find the rest of this, but I now have Moorcock in my life. And all right, now I'm going to show you what I got from Verbatim. So I got 2 hardcovers from Verbatim, but I'm going to show you the soft covers first. Now this at Verbatim I spent quite a bit more, but I definitely think it's worth it, and that's honestly just because I bought the hardcovers. So this is Tanith Lee. This is another DAW Sci-Fi. I just saw the cover, and I've never heard of Tanith Lee before, but you know, it's got a hot babe on a chariot. And this is, I think, supposed to be maybe sci-fantasy? I'm not sure, but the cover was cool. I've not heard of her before. This seems to be like a very thick read. Like, look at how dense, can you see it? Look at how dense the writing is on there. So this is probably going to be like a long read. But this is from 1975. Amazing. So I paid $2.50 for this because there's the Verbatim sticker, which I'm gonna have to take off before I pack this up. All right, don't do that now. We'll take those off. I also saw this, another Andrea Norton. We're gonna turn into an Andrea Norton channel here soon. But look at this cover. So she had multiple of these. This one was only $2. I'm not quite sure why this one was $2 and the other one more expensive, but of course I picked up the $2 one. But it's a front and back cover. It reminds me a lot of the 70s publications of the Lynn Carter books that I've picked up, which is pretty cool. This is from 1982. But I thought this was absolutely gorgeous. Another Andrea Norton. This is Starborn, and this is an ace with the front and back. Very same artwork, front and back. Now, most of the ace books from like the 60s are like very flimsy, and this is another one that doesn't have any spine cracking, which is why I picked it up, because I'm gonna basically do all the damage to it. Let's see when this one is. I think this is from the 60s. Oh, nope, this is from 1957. So another pulp that has managed to make it. That's something else that I found amazing. And I understand why Book Pilled comes into such luck here, is because of the fact that the weather is so good here in California. Like, the number of these vintage paperbacks are in such good shape is because there's very little humidity and there's very even temperatures. So like the books don't deteriorate as fast as they would like where I live, which is Virginia, in the summer, where it's like, you know, 100 degrees in the summer with 100% humidity. And then in the winter it can get down like below freezing with no humidity. So that level of like humidity and temperature change can be pretty damaging on a book. So I paid $4 for this. I think it's awesome. It does have a little bit of dog earring, but that's okay. Amazing book. And then I saw this, and I've never read anything by Jack Williamson before, but I saw this, another ace book. Apparently I'm just going to collect ace books from now on. The Trial of Terra. I just thought that this cover was gorgeous. I think this is also either 50s or 60s. And there's the back, and I paid $3 for this. This one does have a lot more yellowing, and it feels like a lot more brittle. Like if I turn the page too fast, I'm going to rip the book. This is from 1962. But this one's a lot more brittle than the other two ace books I picked up. So this one and this one are in like really good shape. This one is like one page flip from being torn in half. I mean, the binding is in really good shape still. It's just that like the paper itself feels very brittle. So I'll have to be very careful when I read that. And then the hardcovers I picked up. This is actually not sci-fi, I don't think. It says it's a horror book. It's A Scent of New Mown Hay by John Blackburn. I just saw this and it sounded very interesting to me. So this is an English writer, and this I believe is from the 50s. This is a book club edition. And yeah, from the 50s, so 1958. I've just never heard of this book before, and when I read the premise of it, it really intrigued me, so I picked it up. And I'm really interested to read this just because it seemed really cool. And then this I picked up because the cover was so weird. This is Blind Voices by Tom Reamy. I hope you can see it without the, but look at the dude. Like, what is this? What is this cover? It's so weird. Like, he looks like he's riding a magic carpet, but like the carpet's missing. And then you got, on the back, you got Muscle Man. I think she's supposed to be a bearded lady. So I'm sure that this is gonna be probably not great for a modern audience, but you know, I picked it up because the front was weird. This is from 1978, and this actually is a posthumous publication. So this book was published after Tom Reamy had died. So this is something that he didn't release while he was alive, which also made me want to get it. One, the cover, and then I looked inside and read the premise, and then I saw that it was a posthumous book, and I was just like, all right, let's see why this didn't get published while he was alive. So that's everything. Those are all the books I've picked up so far in San Diego. I don't know how I'm gonna get all this home. I might have to like box everything up and media mail it to myself back home, because I've kind of filled up my suitcase already with other stuff. So we'll see, but hopefully everything will make it back with me in one piece. And I hope that this was interesting to you, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the shop with me, and I will see you guys next week for another video. Bye. Bye.